Minnesota Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer has always been a habitual line stepper when it comes to calling out players to try and motivate, as well as just simply passing the buck. It ain't my fault. Nah. And frankly, it is my biggest pet peeve about Zimmer besides poor clock management and trying to play like it's 1949. Dun, 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 dun. And he walked that fine line again after the final preseason game when he called out players' conditioning in the sauna that is Kansas City in August. And this is from our friends Vikings Wire. Zimmer said that the team ran out of running backs on Friday. He also said that it ran out of wide receivers. Quote, the other part is, I think we're going to have some conditioning. I know it's hot out there tonight, but those guys were sucking. As I'm guessing sucking when? Not like a critique of their performance. We're probably going to have to condition the rest of this week and some of next week, end quote. And the Vikings coach was asked if conditioning was still an issue during the game. Here's what he said, quote, well, those guys played a lot of plays tonight, especially the offensive guys, Zimmer told reporters. On special teams, we had a couple of injuries, so guys had to go there. We had a couple of linebackers, so we had a few there. It was hot, and they're playing every play on special teams. I know there was a couple of guys that couldn't rise to the occasion there towards the end quote. So yes, it's all well and good to call out your team for not being conditioned for the first real outdoor hot game situation, yada yada, but not in public. Like, what purpose does it serve to completely call guys out on the carpet, especially guys late in the preseason game, the final preseason game, who probably aren't going to play a lot in the regular season if they make the team or the practice squad at all. Like, yes, hold your players, and by the way, your strength and conditioning coach, accountable in private, but you should take the blame in public, man. Also, you need to know about Kansas City in August, man. It is hot. It is hot. The first two preseason games were inside the cozy and temperature-regulated historic U.S. Bank Stadium, and a late August game in Kansas City, even a night game, is a whole nother beast in terms of heat and humidity, man. Like, they don't even have to turn on the smokers when they're doing the barbecue in August. They're just like, put the meat outside. There you go. But you're telling me in the hot-ass sun of Egan during the dog days of summer at the end of training camp and the last couple weeks of practice, you had zero inkling that your team's not in game shape. Like, you knew it was going to be hot as balls and players would be playing more than half the game because you had some players cut as well as you were resting your starters. So your nutrition staff needs to implore the players to stay hydrated all damn day on Friday. Hammer those electrolytes, get that salt in, get that potassium in, etc. So ultimately, that's on you. Yes, it could be a failure of the strength and conditioning coach as well as the nutritionist, but ultimately the buck stops with you, man. So in public, at your press conference, say, you know what, it's my fault that the guys weren't conditioned for the heat. It was really hot out there tonight, but that's on me. We got to get better on that end, and I'm sure we'll put in some work, and then we'll just get after it before week one. That's all you need to say. That's all you need to say. It gets your message across without calling out your players in public. Now, in private, air them out all you want. Like, in the locker room, in the meetings rooms, like, hey, we're going to run suicides and wind sprints all damn day long in the heat today, boys, because we got to get after it. Because you got to get ready for that fourth quarter. You got to get ready for late in the season. We're going to be the most conditioned team in the National Football League because tiredness makes cowards of everyone. So we're going to get after it. And frankly, I mean, the players do deserve it sometimes. Sometimes you do have to put boot to ass, and that's what we do love and respect about Zimmer. But you cannot continually just throw your players under the bus in public to the media and expect them to buy into you. Like we've seen during Zimmer's tenure here, that sometimes, especially towards the end of a bad season, maybe he loses the locker room. And this is a team of veterans, man, that absolutely buy his brand. And now it brings up the question with this team, especially the starters who saw little to no action in preseason, are they going to be ready for the heat and the humidity in Cincinnati in the week one opener? Because it's a noon game, basically in northern Kentucky. It's going to be a hot one. Plus, since the Bengals are the home team, they get to choose if they're going to wear their home colors or if they're going to wear white. And they're probably going to opt for their white uniforms because it reflects heat. So the Vikings will be absorbing some rays in that deep purple. So again, it's small things like this that just continually add up. It's one of my biggest pet peeves about Zimmer. And does it get the message across? I don't know. Could you have done it without calling out the players to the media and just run conditioning for the next 2 weeks? Yes, you could have. But all right. It's just another thing to worry about, by the way. Just in Cincinnati. Oh, are these guys going to be winded? Oh, it's hot. Great. Your thoughts. Zimmer calling out the Vikings conditioning versus the Chiefs. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Venmo. Skull production value.